Okay, let's do some few setups. So I will go to configuration. So under configuration, you will go to list. Then you will click on product group / type. That is this one. So here we have to create a product group. So I'll click on add. So let's say this, I want to call this one finished the type. I will select finished goods. You also put the same thing here. Either you call, okay, let's call it finished book, for instance. So the name could be any name. Then if I make it public, it will become available for other locations, but I just want it to be available for book production. So I will submit. So I'll also call this one book material, like maybe what they use in producing books. So it will, let me put it under raw material. Alright, so you can have different categories of items. Okay, maybe this could be usable. We can have another one, call it maybe usable, but I just want us to have these two. So after creating this now, I would then have to create my store. Okay, so I will go to operations. Then I will click on, okay, let's first of all create a warehouse. So let me create warehouse. So this warehouse, let's call this one, let's call this book. This will be book warehouse. I'll also type the same name. Then I will select finished goods warehouse. Then I will create another one, material where so this one will go under, and another one will be line drawing. This is warehouse for, let me call it, you can give it, select anyone. So these things here have implication, like during production, anything that is under production, that is what that is the kind of product that will come up. Okay, so let's now go to store. Okay, let's go to store, and I will create a new store. So this store now, I will call this store maybe, let me type the same thing in cash point header. So this is sales invoice. You can have sub header, the type, okay, sales invoice, product type. So you can now select product type. If I select finished goods, only product that is under finished goods, that's what will appear here. The company, you select your company. Warehouse, warehouse, I want to make use of finished goods. No, book warehouse, that's what I want to use. So I will check these things. Then I will have to submit. I'm coming, these are, I will also come back to this. These are different ledger for account. Okay, this one is another video entirely, but you can just ignore this. So I now have a store. So the next thing I want us to do is to create a product. So let me quickly create one product. No, I want to create a product. So you will now select, let's say finished goods. A and B book. Maybe this is the name of the product. Let's say in pieces. Let's say it costs 1,000 to produce and they're selling 1,500. All right, so now if we go to, let me show you something. If we go to store to sell this, now you see that only A and B book, that's all will come out. But let's just go back to, let's also create another product. But this time I'll put it under material. Maybe this is, maybe ink. Okay, the product name is ink. Or I can leave these things as 0. So let's go to store again. So we'll search for ink. You see that ink is not coming out because this store now only allows us to sell product inside finished goods. So this is how you could actually separate product and assign products to a particular store. That is like finished goods. Other items they use for producing a book will not be appearing here. Okay. So there's another thing I want us to look at. Now let's look at there are different ways of handling production. So let's just look at this production. Okay. There are different ways of handling a production. Now in production, you tell the system the